Welcome back to the CEO series. Today we are joined by this absolute superstar team from Fitstop Jindalee. How are you guys feeling?
Good, pumped.
Amazing, always.
Excited to jump into this because you have formed an incredible community. You stepped into Jindalee and took it over from an ownership standpoint. Kourtnee, you'd been working in there as a manager prior to that. Where was your membership base when you stepped in as an owner? And how have you built it, or where have you built it to now? Because it's been a phenomenal journey.
Yeah, so we took over Fitstop Jindalee mid-year through 2023. We took over with 85 members. So classes were quiet. Gym needed a little bit of love and attention. And yeah, towards the end of 2025, we ticked over about 265 members.
It's absolutely incredible. If you're listening to this and you haven't, please jump on and follow these guys on social media, Fitstop Jindalee. They do an incredible job with their community, and that's what we're going to dive deeper into today is, it's one thing growing a business from the start, but stepping into a business that you had been a part of, you knew what was missing from that community standpoint. I think you've really kind of poured your guys' heart and soul into this business, and you genuinely care about your community. You know what excellent, should and could look like, and you've driven that there very quickly. We're super proud of you. But let's wind back the clock a little bit. Who are you guys? Where have you come from? What got you into fitness?
Great question. My story is actually a little bit funny. So I am a semi-professional netballer. I have been for a few years now. But I actually ended up just going a free week at Fitstop at a different location one time. I absolutely fell in love with the training. I signed up the following week. And then I was like, I love this. I want to be a part of this. So I actually started studying my Cert 3 and 4. My first job in the fitness industry was at Fitstop Jindalee. And ever since then, it's just grown. So my passion for obviously the brand and the industry.
Love it, Riley.
And my fitness journey actually started way back. I was going to the gym with the boys, nothing special. But then moved to Brisbane, moved to Coorparoo 4 years ago, and went to Fitstop Coorparoo. Shout out to Nicola and Rizzo there. Nurtured the way through Fitstop and showed us the way, and obviously fell in love with it. And then met Kourtnee 3 years ago. And a year into our relationship, Fitstop Jindalee came along.
Amazing. Building a business together is truly special. Beck and myself obviously get to do it day to day as well, and I get to travel the world and really create something that we're super, super proud of. That does bring complexities though to it. Kourtnee, you mentioned semi-professional athlete. Riley, you've still got a career. Like, there's a lot of moving parts here. Give us a summary on how you think you guys balance this well as a couple, and how you're actually able to grow the business together.
To be honest, it does take a lot of patience and understanding. I'm a little bit more frantic and chaotic than Riley is. He's very level-headed, but I think the good outweighs the bad. I think that we level each other out really well. Playing netball this year was quite challenging. I was playing down the Gold Coast, which meant a huge commute. But I guess it's just important to kind of sit down at the start of the week, focus on what your goals are, focus on having a plan in place, and having a great team on as well. That's something that will support you from the back end. And we kind of dive in every week. We know what we need to do. We know what we want to do and to get done. And we just kind of plan from there.
Yeah, we're very yin and yang in the business. It's very fortunate. I'm a FIFO worker, so I'm away for 2 weeks of the month. So out of my camp room, I'm doing up the marketing, doing up plans and stuff like that for the months ahead. But we work on very different sides of the business, so it works quite well.
Well, I think, Kourtnee, you get to work in the business, and Riley, you're working on the business, which is incredible. And I think typically as an athlete / high performer, you're going to be running at 100 miles an hour and want perfection and chasing progress and all the things. And I think when you bring it back to having that stability and diving into the planning, Riley, is there any techniques that you use to, I guess, dive more into planning or to negate that kind of highs and lows of what business can bring if we're in that emotive state?
I listen to Ben Crow a lot, and he just is athlete mindset the whole time, and it's just talking about agency in the moment and also appreciation. So we're so grateful about the community we have, about the relationship we have. So when it comes back to it, it's just the little moments that if a member does something or if something doesn't go our way, just to take a breath and think about that moment and just move forward and don't let it control the rest of your day, rest of your week, really.
Love that. we've talked about your growth, 260 plus members, an amazing community that you guys have built. What have been some of those standout moments that you knew you were onto something special? To go from that kind of circa 100 members to add 165 members in such a short time frame. What was it that you really dialed in on, I guess, in those early stages? So someone's listening that kind of is that 1 to 150 membership mark. Like, what was the difference in how you were running the business then versus how you're running it now, maybe?
I think definitely a big standout moment for us was our first ever game day. I think we'd just taken over. We'd taken the gym from about 85 to probably 110 members in the matter of a week or two. And that first ever game day, we said, you know what, let's just one class. Let's have a conversation with every member in the gym. Let's get them on board. Let's get them booked in, and let's have one epic big class. And at that moment, I think we had about 60 show, which was more than half our membership base. And that was huge for us because before that, people were scared of game day. They weren't educated on what it was. It used to scare them. So to be able to have more than half our membership base show up just for one Saturday to get around each other, they realized that everyone is so supportive of each other, and just the hype of 60 members in the gym was incredible. And they realized, they weren't alone and they could achieve anything really.
That's
And
really...
I'd back that with, sorry.
I was going to say, just if we can dive into that a little bit deeper, right? Because it's easy, I think, to sit there and say like, oh yeah, we pulled off an event, right? That's what you're saying. But what you actually created is a memorable moment that your community bought so much into you guys and what you were trying to create. That doesn't just happen. I'm sure there's people out there right now thinking like, oh, I'd love 60 members turn up to one of my events and maybe they've got 200 plus. What were some of those key steps you took to get the 60 members there? Was it individual conversations? Was it text messages? Do you have a members group? Like, how did you rally that many people to actually turn up and care as much as you guys do?
I think back then as well, it was probably myself and only one other coach. And we just said, let's have individual conversations in the gym. Ask them why they don't want to come. And to be honest, when we asked people, they actually had no excuse as to why they wouldn't come. They'd just be like, oh, I just don't know if it's for me. Why not? Why isn't it for you? This session, this game day is for absolutely everyone. And once they did that, and you know what? I actually printed off a spreadsheet in the gym and I started writing people's names down in groups. I was like, this is Pete, this is Riley. You guys are going to work together on Saturday. It's going to be epic. Don't stress, show up. And so, not only did people make friends, they did something they never thought they could.
That's incredible. Riley, I did jump in, cut you off. You were going to add a bit more detail, I think.
Yeah, Kourtnee's way too humble. I think from the get-go, we knew we had something special. Like Kourtnee runs a class like no other, can build a relationship with members like no other. So from my point of view, it was about finding 2 to 3 other trainers who are more Kourtnees. And credit to Kourtnee, we took over. Kourtnee coached heaps of 30 hours plus classes for probably the first 3 months because we were relentless in trying to find these amazing coaches who we knew would change our community and grow our community. And it took a long time, but we were grateful for everyone who's worked at our gym. And now we have just an absolute gun team that, in a way that we know every session, the members are getting like the full Fitstop experience. So, we just knew we had it with Kourtnee. We just need to show Kourtnee's ways to all these other people. No,
I love that. I think, again, going back to just the standards that you guys have and what your expectation was for the business, when kind of what Fitstop could do and what the perfect session should feel like, and your vision for what you wanted to create out of the business. That's one thing, but then being able to recruit and educate and hold a standard to that same standard is so important and so vital. But that's also probably that professional athlete. Again, you're being very humble, semi-pro. You're a professional athlete. Coming out in you that it's like, yes, right, and just chasing it and being relentlessly consistent with it. I think that's so important. So you've got your circa 100 members. You had 60 of them turn up to game day. You've created this memorable moment. Where to from there? What was that next phase for you once you had that community buy-in and growth?
I guess for the first probably year or 18 months, it was always having sort of something to look forward to for the members and to recreate that first moment, right? And I guess that gives the members something to train towards as well. So we did a trivia night. We're like, let's do it. Let's host a trivia night in the gym. It was our end of 6-week challenge. Again, we got maybe 60 members in the gym, few drinks, cheese platters. We ordered pizza for everyone. And again, I put tables together. So tables together, the mums all sat together, and then the dads all sat together, and then the young parents all sat together, and the younger, teenagers all sat together. And saw sort of a different side of everyone, got together, a completely different side of, getting together, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess just having something to always sort of look towards, and be excited for something coming up.
Was there a period in time that, I guess once the business started to grow, let's say you hit kind of that 180 to 200 membership mark, did you have to switch gears from a management and a planning lens? It sounded like the original starting point of your business was very like passion and performance driven. You were very hugely focused on the community, but how have you had to change, I guess, whether it's been your leadership or management style over the course of that kind of 2 years?
Yeah, it's still a work in progress. I know very much so that I need to delegate a little bit more. I tend to take on a lot of the load, and that's not something that we've been meaning to do. We've always wanted to do that. It's just about putting the right systems in place and finding the right people. So definitely still a work in progress. But the workload of 260 plus members for myself and Riley now is a lot. So we have a trainer on board who does some of our high risk calls and some of our social media and stuff like that to give us a hand. And that's good for him as well. He gets to, dive into the management role to see if he likes that sort of stuff. And the goal has always been to step back from coaching a little bit more, start working on the business instead of in it as much. Definitely still a work in progress.
Throughout the time of growth, how have you invested in yourself, or where have you seeked more education or information to be able to keep growing?
God, nearly in each other, I think. Like, I don't know, like Kourtnee learns so much from what I do and how I like deal with certain situations. And then, I actually learned so much from Kourtnee about building relationships and like that one-on-one conversation. So in a way, it's nearly from each other. And obviously there's, in this day and age, like there's so much information in the world. It's easy to keep on learning. Mostly mine's about, building like a good mindset and how to move through situations. And Kourtney's is, she's learnt so much from being a semi-pro athlete, I would imagine.
What about the network? Have you lent into any other business owners, or are you doing any other personal or professional development?
So we reach out to Jeff, I reckon, on a weekly basis. We are literally both texting Jeff off our same phones all the time. Poor Jeff, hears from us way too often. Reached out to Cass from the North Side a little bit about how they seem to recruit such great coaches. I reached out to Dave about delegation, things like that. He's given us heaps of help. We know the toolkits through and through. We could tell you them off the back of our hand every quarter, or every month we'll go down and read the toolkits to see what's coming up. Again,
I think we're going to dive a bit more into this detail. So you've mentioned a couple of things here, which I love. Is one, Jeff's your business performance coach, for anyone that doesn't know that listening. So you're utilizing, I guess, the resources that we've got from HQ first. You're then jumping into the toolkit, so you understand what the quarterly plan looks like, what you're going to utilize from Fitstop to execute, and then you're reaching out to your peers, people in the network that are performing at a very high level, to be able to extract some learnings or success from them and go implement yourself. Again, I think this just goes back to you guys as a couple and the mindset that you have around reinvesting in yourself, your personal development and growth. Most importantly, not leaving it up to chance, because again, you can't go from 100 members to 265 members by chance. I'm going to shift gears a little bit here. Talk to me about lead generation. Again, there'll be people sitting in the position right now that are like, I wish I could grow 100 members. I need more leads. I'm going to have to spend more on social media strategy. What's the next campaign coming up? This will be a bit controversial, but what is your biggest lead source in your business?
Kourtney. It's just, and our members. Our members are our biggest lead generation. In-house competitions, referrals, it's pretty much been one of our only ways. We haven't had meta leads running for the past 18 months. I've tried to dabble into it, but turns out I'm not great at it. But the past 18 months, it has been $500 cash giveaway referrals, free weeks. We absolutely pump free weeks, having good socials, just an inviting community when they're looking at on their screen, but then we actually back that up on their first session free. And what they see on the screen is exactly how we are in club. Like that first session, they're so welcomed by the whole team. So yeah, they think it's a real deal from the get-go.
I think people are shocked when we say we actually haven't had any paid marketing for 18 months, but we even looked at little things like lead generation boxes where we'd go to City Cave, and if they were a client at City Cave, they put their name in a hat, and then that box would be taken to our the local cafe, and then all their names would be put on the in the box if they wanted to win a sauna, and then it all comes back to us. So now we've got all these names and numbers. So I'm not sure if anyone's too familiar with lead boxes. To be honest, like didn't bring in a whole lot of people, but we have literally just tried everything.
Yeah, it's just brand awareness. Like I talk to 10 people walking down the street, and we are on a main road. Talk to the people at the footy club, and they'll be like, oh yeah, no, I haven't really heard of Fitstop or seen where it is. So it's literally, for us, it has been about getting out in the community and having conversations with people and what Fitstop is, and how it actually benefits their life.
So let's break this down. I want you to think back. Let's use maybe the current quarter as an example. When you're going into planning the quarter and you're having your team meeting saying, we're not spending any money on Meta again, but we need to grow. We want to grow our business. And your net member movement month on month is insane. This won't work for everyone, and you need to have the basics right. You've talked about acknowledging your community. It's the perfect session every time. You hold a very high standard from a coaching element. You get to know every single member. So you've ticked all of those boxes, right? How are you looking at your quarter and then building out your lead gen funnel? What did you do this quarter as some examples?
So this quarter, walks the streets with flyers as one thing. That's something we always do. Letterbox drops if we're kind of scraping the barrel with ideas. We got our
what's on the letterbox. Wait. I want to dive. What's on the letterbox drop? What is it? What's on the flyer?
Flyer, big.
Free week flyer, sales for free week. And then I have just made up some other DL flyers with just why Fitstop Jindalee is #1 group fitness class in Jindalee, the western suburbs. Just something catchy. And we chuck the AirPods in, listen to Spotify, a few podcasts, and just drop out flyers. Like, we all love exercise. So, yeah.
Great. So first one, an intent-based letterbox drop. Sweet.
Yeah. We got our first sponsorship. So we sponsor the local soccer team. We send emails out to them and for them to pass on to all their sporting teams. I think, how many athletes do they have playing for them?
300.
300 members of their soccer club. We back-to-back tell our members. We learned from you at the conference that someone has to see something 3 or 4 times before it actually sinks in. So sitting our members down at the end of each session, stretching and actually telling them that free week is coming up. And then people will start to think about, if they hear it once here or once there, it needs to be after every single session, every single day. And then members will actually start to think about who they're going to bring in. I will go up to members in the gym and I'll be like, Susan, free week next week, who are you bringing? Oh, I don't know, mum, dad, brother, sister, friends from school. And then they go, oh, actually, I was having this conversation last week with my friend Julie. And so then Julie comes into the gym next week and she absolutely loves it. So we do a lot of groundwork to get it.
It's just so many basics, like core flute signs absolutely everywhere. Every few days I'll go move them around. Yeah, just literally all the 1% of basics you can think of, we're probably doing it.
I think, again, you just touched on this. And you guys are taking this for granted and kind of pushing it to the side like they are all basics. They are, but you go really deep with it, right? And there is so much intent because, again, as a business owner, talking to the coaches about, hey guys, free week is coming up, make sure we promote it, right? But you're going to that next layer down of being like, hey, we promote it every single session. We ask all of our members who they're bringing, and it doesn't stop there. We then prompt them around who they could bring, and then they get excited and they want to feel a part of it, and then they bring someone in, and that person is going to convert because they've been brought in by their best friend, Julie, who wants to come in, and they've been prompted to that. They experienced the most amazing workout by the most supportive community. And then, of course, they're going to go flow straight back into a membership because you're there to help solve their goals. Yeah, I remember going back in the day running Fitstop Victoria Point. One of my original members, I used to coach, that her son from motocross, owned the local Red Rooster, had like 60 staff members. She'd been with me for 2 years, and the same point, I was saying to her, Mel, who are you bringing in for free week? And something clicked and she was like, oh no, Peter, I've actually gone and told all of my staff members that they can come and train with me for next week. She ended up bringing 20 of them in and 17 of them signed up. But that was after 2 years, right? So exactly to your point, you've got to keep drilling down into, but who can you bring? Whose life do you want to change? Who's looking for a change? I can help solve their problems, just like I've been able to help you, put you in a really good place. But that only comes from perfect session, high standards, supportive community. You have to do the work and then you get the reward for sure.
Absolutely.
Love it. And you touched on like things like obviously the letterbox drops, but also the what did you call it when you go and put it into the business and they put their
Lead
card
boxes.
in? Lead boxes.
Yeah, so-
that's also back in the day. I remember doing this like 6 years ago. What's prompting them to put in it? Are they winning something? Like why is someone putting their details in there?
Yeah, so I haven't done it for a little bit, but I took them to the cafe, Acai Bros, our rehab, all little boxes, and they're winning a free week. All they have to do is buy something from that place, fill out a little card, and then at the end of the week, I'll go collect them all and ring a person for a free week. And I knew like we weren't going to get 1,000 leads and stuff like that out of this or members, but it's about like we were learning the ropes and stuff for the first 12, 18 months as well. So we were just getting so much brand awareness out there, knew it wasn't going to pay off then. But when another gym closed down in Kenmore, which was 3 Ks away, they're going to know Fitstop. Oh, there's a Fitstop close by. I keep on seeing their stuff. Bang, like straight on the phone. So
incredible. All right. So lead gen sorted, paying $0 for marketing, a lot of guerrilla marketing, a lot of boots on the ground. You've earned the right to have these conversations with your members. When someone steps into the door, Kourtnee, you've mentioned that you are the self-proclaimed best coach in the Fitstop network, but more importantly, probably best at sales. Talk me through what your expectations are of, I guess, that initial conversation, delivering the session, and then getting someone to join up. You've cracked the code here, obviously. What do you do?
I want to start off by saying that I actually don't need to do anything at the end of the session to make the sale. Everything's already done. Half an hour ago, it was done at the front door. I think that's super important to me is first impressions are absolutely everything. Standing at the front door, doors wide open, iPad in hand, greet them by their name. You know who they are because they're only the new person in the class. Showing them around the gym, asking actually what their goals are. I can't stress that enough. People join a gym for a reason. It could just be routine. It could be mental health. It could be they want to hit 100 kilo back squat PB. They're training for half marathon. So important to find out their goals. Ask about any injuries because they need to know that they can still move their body with injuries, and it's up to us as coaches, the professionals, to make adjustments if we need to. That way they feel at home, they feel well looked after, they feel well treated, and they don't feel excluded because everyone else can do things that they can't. Run the perfect session, fun warm-up, break the demos down, give them as much info as they need, partner them up with someone that's like-minded, whether it be another runner, a female that's the same age who also has kids. And then, you go up to them and you say, oh, this person actually has a 5-year-old daughter too. Boom, they start talking. They realize that their kids go to the same school. That lady is not leaving. She is signing up after the session. 100% hands down.
I love it. You've just completely gone deep into the perfect session. But I think there's a couple of things that we all underestimate. It's the prep work on the front side of that, right? So you and I, no doubt, all of your other coaches know exactly who's coming in, when they're coming in, probably have some notes saved down in Hapana around whether it was that lead call or message that got them in the first place. But you're doing all of the work pre-session and you're setting them up for success. The most important one there is understanding what their goal is. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be big, but there needs to be some form of motivator that you dive into. And typically people are running away from pain or driving towards pleasure. Find that out, connect them with someone, help them make a friend, help them understand that we're actually a program and this is going to help them get closer towards their goals. And then of course, why wouldn't they sign up? That's what they walked in in the first place. So I think when you are looking at some of your key stats, no doubt you guys have a very, very high conversion rate from first session rolling into some form of membership. Do you know off the top of your head what that is, what your expectation is for your coaches?
Expectation is always 80% or at least 70%. Like we would be having concerns if it was only 50%. But yeah, it was, what was the last day we had?
Black Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday was like 82%, but the other ones were just like only in the area for a certain amount of time or something. Like all the ones that could have actually generally signed up did sign up. Yeah.
Again, amazing point. You know your stats, and again, something you just said there was, if it was down somewhere around 50%, we would have concerns, right? You're saying we would have concerns. You're taking ownership over probably the connection with the member before it, the perfect session, the follow-up, or maybe even where you're getting your leads from. And I would suggest your conversion would be very high because you're getting a qualified lead. You're getting people that are genuinely interested. They've heard of you. They've had the touch points, and they've seen you guys on socials. Probably the last thing I wanted to touch on, because I did mention at the start, follow you guys on social media. How do you view social media? What's your strategy around management of your Instagram account, what you're showing, what you're not showing? Because again, if you're not spending money on paid meta, this is going to be a big part of it outside of the other guerrilla marketing you're doing.
Just being so organic, like actually, yeah. If you scroll through Instagram, you can take some notes from other fit stops. Oh, they see some cool stuff, and there's absolutely no shame in copying a post. Like, we're all in the same brand for the same goals. Like, take the easy wins if they're out there and just get some up, and being really consistent with it. I've found like our views are just going through the roof now that we're doing at least 3 to 4 posts a week. But yeah, when we are like, I'm probably in Kourtnee's face. She's tired of coaching. She's doing 40 hours of coaching this week, but I'll still be in her face on Saturday and she'll still be giving it all. And it's being so organic with the members, and the members actually love it. Like, get as many members on there as possible, because the people who want to become a member of your gym want to know who they're actually working out with, I think. So, yeah, they love it. And they reshare it. So
when you're talking about on a Saturday, you're filming content, what are you thinking about when you're filming that content? And then the second follow-up to that is, you talked about your member heroing some of that content. How are you viewing that?
I think it goes down to what kind of members we have in our gym and personality. Like, I just love our community so much, and we actually have some larrikins. So we take the approach of, let's make it fun, let's make it funny, let's bring out people's personalities. So on the weekend we actually did I'm passing the microphone to someone who, and like, if you go on and watch our latest Instagram video, it's actually hilarious. Like, you see sides of people that it kind of brings them out. They're like, oh yeah, I can participate in this. This is funny. So again, it goes back to that organic, authentic. People want to see real people. They don't want to see models. You know, they don't want to see these people with ripped six packs. They want to know that it's inviting, it's open to everyone. And so we love absolutely just, getting our members on there face to cam, showing everyone what Fitstop Jindalee is about.
Yeah, we get so many follows, from those reels. So the proof is in the pudding. Like, we just keep it going. Friends are friends, everyone.
All right, we're going to summarize this. If you were to give your top 3 non-negotiables in your business that have to be done week on week, that if every other Fitstop or every other boutique business owner out there did, you know that they would grow their business, what would they be? Top 3.
I'll answer from a coaching point of view is lead by example. I think that's so important. I'll never ask my coaches to do something that I wouldn't do myself. And then that respect and that honesty is earned. And like, setting them up with foundations and giving them advice, giving them feedback, all of that sort of stuff, and having a really open communication with them. And they'll just want to do their best for you. And as Riley said, we have the best team we've ever had on now.
Number 2 is probably, just absolutely appreciate everyone in your community. They're coming to your gym. We are like family to everyone in our gym. Kourtnee's their daughter, sister, best friend, everyone. And so are all our trainers. We know everything about their lives. So it's just community. Like, I don't know how to express that even more. Like, it is just the number one. Like,
I would say as well, you're going to fail at a few things, but it's how you come back from that. We've tried so many things, marketing aspects that have, I wouldn't say failed, but just not worked. So just look at different avenues. Riley listens to a lot of podcasts and he's like, why don't we try this? So ride the waves, as Riley said earlier in the video. Give everything a go, reach out, take on feedback. You're only going to grow from there.
Guys, I've loved this conversation. We are bang on 30 minutes. My big takeaways here are, you are absolutely obsessed about your community. You knew the standard of the business that you wanted to create when you walked into it. You've been able to take that from sub 100 members to now 265 plus. no doubt you're chasing that kind of top 3 spot on the Fitstop ladder. But you genuinely care about the product. You hold a really high standard. You've been able to grow the business based off organic marketing and actually being the mayor of your communities, but you're not just speaking about it, you're doing it and you're going really deep with it. Like you said, you created that memorable moment from that first game day, and now you've been looking for those memorable moments within the programming to create human connection. But you actually care about the results that your members truly want to get. You've created an amazing family. We're super proud of you. I love watching your journey and I can't wait to see what's next. So thank you so much for your time. I'm sure people get a lot out of this.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks for having
Pete.
us.